Hi, my name is Kyle Russell. Welcome to Arkansas Wushu. Let's go ahead and open up class for today. So if you don't already know the opening, you're just going to put your right fist by your right ear, your left hand in front of it with a hand open a little bit. Step forward sideways with your right foot. Push both hands forward, going into a cat stance. Grab and pull back. So let's go over that opening one more time. You got your fist. Put your hand here, step sideways into cat stance, push both hands forward, grab, and pull back. One more time just to make sure we're open. Okay, so if you've been here for the last couple of classes, we've been going over yellow belt Chuan Fa in the Kenpo system. If not, that's fine. We're just going to be doing the form today. So if you haven't seen this, you can go to arkansaswushu.com and click on the styles tab and click on yellow belt, and you'll see all this in the drop down list, and most of it you can click on it. It'll show you how to do it. All right, so I'm not going to do much warming up today. We're just going to get straight into the form. So because it's a basic form in yellow belt, we're assuming the person doesn't have the full salutation down quite yet. Because of that, we do a simplified opening. So our opening is just step up or step out to the right, bring the left palm and the right fist together, and then come back with the toes down. And it may seem silly, but we're going to go ahead and do just that 5 times. All right, 1. So that's how we're going to do this whole form. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So after we step, we have our hands back down to our sides because in Kenpo or Chuan Fa, we generally think that we do not have our hands up and like we're ready to fight already because we're not expecting an attack. Okay? So after the initial opening, we step back right from there. This left hand comes back to the hip, and the right hand does an inward block. I modified the stances just a little bit after practicing Wushu for a while to help a little bit more with the deeper stances later on. So we start them off nice and early with the way I do this. So after we open, we want to step back to a right inward block, going a little bit past the nose. We're in a horse stance, modified, kind of a 45-degree angle to the front. But we're going to kind of go down into a deep horse here. All right, so let's do just that much 5 times. 1. You don't want to go too deep because we're going to try to keep this head height throughout the form. So if you're so deep that it hurts, you're going to have a lot of trouble transitioning from one technique to the next. 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, so from this modified horse stance, we're going to go into a bow stance punch. Punching nose level. So that's why I like those. When I went in this stance originally, it was in a soft bow, and the stances were so high, I couldn't really tell what stance they were in half the time. By using these deeper Wushu stances, we make sure we get more of a leg exercise, get more power into our techniques, and get more hip motion transitioning from one stance to the other. So that's the reason why I put these extra stances in there. I get a lot of benefit out of it, and hopefully you will too. Okay, so let's add the punch and do that 5 times. 1. 2. 3. 4. Remember that's modified horse stance. Shift into a bow stance, punch nose level. and 5. Okay, so from here, I want to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we stepped out, right fist touches left hand, come back, down by the side, step back, inward block, and punch. So now we're going to take our right leg, bring our left hand back to our ear, drag the right leg back, and repeat that sequence just on the opposite side. I want to do that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so from here, now we're going to both stance and punch. Next, we're going to do an outward block. If you don't know how to do an outward block, you're just reaching over to your opposite hip and think of picking something up to look at it. You're just doing this outward block. All right, so after this reverse punch, you're going to step up and do an outward block, but we're going to turn about 90 degrees and do an outward block. So if you're looking at this from the clock direction, you're going from 12 o'clock direction into 9 o'clock direction. So our first 2 techniques, inward block, reverse punch, 12 o'clock, inward block, reverse punch, 12 o'clock, step up, outward block. You don't want to go too far because you want to have that modified horse stance facing your 9 o'clock direction so that you'll be loaded up for the punch. So we'll just do the first block and punch 5 times, and then we'll add the next two techniques, which is the block and the punch on the opposite side. Okay. 1. Inward block, reverse punch. Inward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. Back up. 2. Inward block, reverse punch. Inward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. 3. Open up. Inward block, reverse punch. Inward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. One more time. And 5. Open up. Inward block, reverse punch. Inward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. All right, so now we're going to step back, do the same thing on the opposite side. So as we step back, this hand can just make a wide circle going in a clockwise direction. If you're familiar with the Kenpo infinity circle, think just circling on around it into that outward block. And then as soon as you're there, go ahead and throw that reverse punch. So this entire form consists of block, punch, done on the opposite side. So we start off with our inward blocks. Next, we're doing our outward blocks. And then we'll do our upward blocks next, but let's go ahead and do these 5 first. All right. 1. Open. 1. Inward block. Reverse punch. Inward block. Modified horse stance. Reverse punch. Bow stance. Step up. Outward block and a modified horse. Reverse punch. Step up. outward block, reverse punch. 4 more times. Okay. 2, open up. 1, inward block, reverse punch. Inward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. And up. 3, open. Hands down to the side. Inward block, reverse punch. Inward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. 2 more times. Number 4. Open up. Step back, inward block, and reverse. Step back, inward block, and reverse. Step up, outward block, and reverse punch. Step back, outward block, and reverse punch. 1 more time. Let's put a little bit of force into it this time. Try to make it look a little better. In the end, you want these forms looking like you're in an actual fight. You don't want them to be weak and frail. You do want to practice them slowly and get the techniques down. Once you have the techniques down, you want to start to try to add power to it. Okay. And 5. All right. So from this last reverse punch, we go into our next set of blocks, which is going to be the upward block. We're going to use this same hand. We're going to start with a left high block. The way we're going to get there is we're going to take our right foot and step over. So we're just dragging this foot over. So we're in the modified horse stance at a 3 o'clock direction and do an upward block here, followed by the reverse punch. And again, on the opposite side, doing an upward block and reverse punch. And so I'll go over it slowly, call out the techniques as we go. Do it step by step so you can follow along. And we'll try to get up to that point. Okay. So 1, step out, right hand touches left palm. Come back, hands down to the side. Step back, doing an inward block with the right hand. Reverse punch with the left hand. Do the exact same thing on the opposite side. As you step back with your right foot, doing left inward block, going into that modified horse stance, and then turning into that bow stance. Okay, now take your right foot and step forward and pivot into an outward block, just at about a 45-degree angle, so that you maintain that modified horse stance from your 9 o'clock direction, and then throw your reverse punch. Again, step back with your left foot, doing a right outward block, and throw a reverse punch. Take this right foot, drag it over, block up, reverse punch. Step back. You want your arm to bar across and go up, and reverse punch. All right, so let's do that again. We got 4 more tries. 2, open, inward block, reverse punch, inward block, reverse punch, outward block, reverse punch, outward block, reverse punch, upward block, reverse punch, upward block, reverse punch, and back to the beginning. All right, so 3 more tries. Be able to do it without someone calling out the techniques? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so let's do it 2 more times. Open up, inward block, reverse punch. Inward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. Outward block, reverse punch. Upper block, reverse punch. Upper block, reverse punch. Now, as we turn this way, we'll do a downward block. Again, modified horse stance, 45-degree angle before we do our reverse punch. And then we step back, downward block, reverse punch. That's the end of the form, so we'll close there. Okay, so let's do that in form in its entirety. We'll do it step by step. Follow along the best you can. If you can't do it, we'll have 4 more tries. So step out, come back, step back, inward block, reverse punch, step back, inward block, reverse punch, step back, step forward, outward block, reverse punch, step back, outward block, reverse punch, step over, upper block, reverse punch, step back with your left leg, doing a right upper block, reverse punch, do a downward block, reverse punch, another downward block, and a reverse punch, step up, and close. And that is short form, block punch form. I want to do it 3 more times. Okay. A little bit faster this time. Open. Inward block. Punch. Block. Punch. Outward block. Punch. Block. Punch. Upper block. Punch. Upper block. Punch. Downward block. Punch. Downward block. Punch. Bring your feet together and come out. 2 more times. Do it and this next time pretty slow, and then want to do it more like as if we're on a fight. Okay, and 4. All right, so one more time. We'll do it for the 5th time, this time with power as if you were in a fight. Short form, block punch form. Begin. And that completes that form. And like I said, if you've been following along in the last couple of classes, you would have done all of yellow belt. So just for fun, we're going to go through all of yellow belt again, 3 times a piece, but we're going to go through it rather quickly. So this is going to be a combination of the last few classes we've done, but we're going to be moving from one technique to the other, just going right along with it. Keep up the best you can. Maybe a little bit difficult, but I think you can get it. Okay. So let's go horse stance. Side horse stance, left facing. Modified. And soft go. Snap kick with the toe down. 1, 2, 3. Ball of the foot. Same kick. 1, 2, 3. Snap kick with the heel. Same foot. 1, 2, 3. Wheel kick low, same foot. 1, 2, 3. Wheel kick high. 1, 2, 3. Japanese thrust kick or front thrust kick. 1, 2, and 3. Switch sides. Snap kick, toe down. 1, 2, 3. Snap kick with the ball of the foot. 1, 2, 3. Snap kick with the heel. 1, 2, 3. Wheel kick low. 1, 2, 3. Wheel kick high. 1, 2, 3. Let's go horse stance. Or sorry, not yet. Left leg back. Front thrust kick. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's go to horse stance. From horse stance, left hand out. We're doing single punches. 1, 2, 3. Double punches. 1, 2, 3. Triple punches. 1, 2, 3. Right hand on your chest. Back fist punches. 1, 2, 3. Other side. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's get into a fighting stance. Left leg forward, right leg back. I'm going to throw a forward punch. 1, 2, 3. A reverse punch. 1, 2, 3. A vertical punch off the back. 1, 2, and 3. And a twisting reverse vertical punch. 1, 2, 3. Switch sides. Forward punch. 1, 2, 3. Reverse punch. 1, 2, 3. Vertical punch. 1, 2, 3. And a twisting reverse vertical punch. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've done the blocks and star blocks. We haven't done them individually. So we're going to go from a street stance, and we are going to step forward into the block. So we're going to start off with a downward block. So as we step forward, this hand's going to come up and just make basically a 45 angle downward into a fist, going a little bit past the knee. All right, 1, 2, 3. Other side. 1, 2, 3. Step forward, do inward block. 1. And if you need that slow down, step by your ear, step forward, curve in front of your hand, and bring it just a little bit past the nose. 2. And 3. Other side. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's step up, do an outward block. So we step up, basically the hand does a half circle, goes from bottom to the top with a fist. 1. Other hand either comes up and guard or goes back to your waist. 2. And 3. Other side. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next is the upper block. So we step forward, block up. 1, 2, and 3. Other side. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so no step. Just do a palm reverse hand block. One side, then the other. 1, other side. 2, other side. 3, and other side. Palm up, reverse hand block. 1, other side. 2, other side. And 3, other side. Downward press. 1, 2, and 3. So that covers our kicks, most of our punches, and our blocks. Let's go ahead and do star blocks, our first form. This form is meant to teach you all of your blocks and being able to practice them really quickly. Sorry, having trouble talking today for some reason. So step out, touch the fist, and we'll go ahead and drop straight to horse stance from there and go into the form. So 1, step out, drop down, upper block, inward block, outward to extend it outward, and downward. Bring that up. Upper block, inward block, outward to extend it outward, and downward. Bring that up. Both hands at the same time perform upper blocks. They both perform inward blocks, outward blocks, and both hands do downward blocks. Right hand comes back, left hand does the reverse hand block, and then it repeats on the other side. Then you do a palm up reverse hand block, and then the same thing on the other side. And then a downward press on both sides. Just come up to your chest and press down. And there are 6 punches altogether. The first 2 are straight on. The second 2 are at a 45-degree angle. And the third one are at a 90-degree angle. So left elbow straight up, right elbow straight up, and that closes that form. This touches, comes back. Let's do that the second time. 2. Touch the fist, drop to the horse stance. Upward block, inward block, outward to extend it outward, and downward. Bring that up. Other side. Upward, inward, outward, and downward. Bring that up. Both hands. Go up, in, both hands out, both hands down. Bring that back. Left hand does a reverse hand block. Right hand does a reverse hand block. Left hand does a palm up reverse hand block. Right hand does a palm up reverse hand block. Downward press, downward press. 2 straight punches, 2 45s, 2 90s, 2 elbows, and close. One more time. And 3. Upward, in, out, down. Other side. Both sides. Reverse hand. Palm up reverse hand. Downward press. Straight punches. 45s. 90s. And 2 elbows. And close. Okay, let's move on into the rest of the punches, going more into the Wushu side. So next, we have the roundhouse punch. Step up, bring that around, hit the chest. 1, 2, 3. Other side. 1, 2, and 3. Reverse roundhouse punch. 1, 2, and 3. Other side. 1, 2, and 3. Over the head roundhouse punch. 1, 2, and 3. And just in case you're having trouble remembering this one, on the other side. 1, step up. Think like you would do a reverse roundhouse. Come over the head and in between the guard and down. 1, 2, and 3. All right, side horse power punch. 1, 2, and 3. Other side. 1, 2, and 3. A sideways vertical punch. Stepping up, turning sideways. Throw a vertical punch outwards at waist level. 1, 2, and 3. Other side. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so our next technique after that is going to be the over the shoulder, over the shoulder downward punch. I'm going to step back, bring the hand up, and strike downwards. 1, 2, and 3. Other side. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that covers most of the Wushu punches. I believe that's all of them. Already done the back fist punch. So that brings us back to the very last thing, which is what we opened with. Short form, block punch form. Form 2. Okay. So 1, 1, do it again. 2, and last one, 3. All right. So within about 30 minutes, we have learned the entire form and reviewed the entire yellow belt and went ahead and performed it 3 times. Hopefully that's helped you if you're a beginner, especially if you're someone interested in Kenpo or Chuan Fa. If you don't know what the difference there is, Kenpo is the Japanese word for law of the fist. Chuan Fa is the Chinese word. The style, according to history, was supposedly at one point brought from China to Japan and then passed down through Japan, brought to America, where it wound up getting named Chinese Kenpo for the longest time. And then some of us have chose to use the term Chuan Fa instead of saying Chinese, this Japanese word for law of the fist, just using the Chinese word instead. Seemed to make more sense to a lot of people. And that's why we get that Chuan Fa Kenpo difference. Okay. So since we moved all the way through yellow belt, we might as well keep going and look at a little bit of orange belt. So I'm going to be doing this for memory, so you'll have to forgive me if I skip some stuff. Again, this can be found on my website at arkansaswushu.com. If you haven't been there, I don't always have everything up as quickly as I would like. Right now, there's a lot of the Chuan Fa done as far as the forms, a step-by-step guide on how to perform each technique. Unfortunately, I don't have many videos of the techniques up right now. I'm hoping to get those out this year. Wish me luck on that. I really want to get those out. So last year I worked on the forms, and I feel like I can do a little bit better, so I may update them and do better tutorials on them this year. Shotokan, all the forms all the way through black belt are up. I might go ahead and reperform them at some point and try to improve them a little bit and give better tutorials as well. You'll see Karolausu Wushu, and that's my own particular brand and style that's being built. So that is a mixture of Shaolin Kung Fu, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, a little bit of Chen Chin, a little bit of Wing Chun, and a little bit of Hung Gar, all kind of mixed into my unique blend. So I'll be kind of building that up as we go along too. And I may put out some other styles. You'll see if you look at my YouTube channel, you can find videos on a lot of different stuff. Anyways, let's move on and go on into orange belt for Chuan Fa. So the first technique is called kimono grab. And this technique is also on grabbing you and pushing you back. So this person has grabbed you, they're trying to threaten or intimidate you, and they're pushing you. So the first thing you're going to do is retrap them. Bring your left hand up and grab. Trap their wrist so that they can't get away. And they want to step back with their left foot. At this point, we'll see we kind of sink the stance. And what that does is, since this person's already pushing, as soon as it sinks, it'll pull them off balance a little bit. Not only that, but you can see how that exposes the throat. Well, as it pulls them off balance, we're hitting up underneath the arms. So they're here, your arms are going down, and then you're hitting right behind to cause damage behind the elbow joints. Hopefully you'll break an arm. You may not, but if you do, great. If not, that's why a lot of Kenpo techniques are elaborate. They keep going way beyond when you feel like they should stop, because a technique may miss or not work, and you don't want to just stop. Okay, so after you trap, you step back, you do an up block. Then you're going to do an inward block, but with your inward block, you're going to tilt it down somewhat because your arms are kind of sideways. So instead of going straight across, we want to bring it down. Plus, we get a bit of a sticky fingers effect. If you don't know what sticky fingers is, it's the friction's ability to kind of pull, whether you grab or not. Your hand's going to stick. It's not just going to slide right off most of the time due to the friction of skin rubbing on skin. So whenever you block down, it's going to pull their arm down. That's kind of going to yank them down a little bit further. All right, so as they're being yanked down, this knife hand chop is going to come right back up to the throat. All right, so you've stepped back and trapped, hopefully broken the arms, gotten the arms off of you, and you're pulling them in as you come back to a throat strike. Well, just to finish off, we're going to cat back and do a snap kick to the groin and walk out. And that's the end of that technique. So that's kimono grab. We're going to do it 10 times in the air. I'll do it 5 times in the air, and I'll do it 5 times with a dummy just to kind of demonstrate. This is the first self-defense technique that I was taught. Let me know what the first self-defense technique you ever learned was. Okay. So again, 1, trap, step back, break. Inward block. Chop, cat back, kick. So on 2, I'll go over the stances that I use a little bit with you. People who fight different may alter the stances a little bit, and that's fine. You want to make it feel somewhat natural, but still be able to put power into it. 2, grab, step back, sink, outward block. Now, whenever I do my inward block, I go into that modified horse stance that allows me to load up for that chop back. And then there's not much you can do to alter the cat stance and kick. 3, trap, step back, break. Bring the hand around, downward block. Chop back to the throat, bringing the leg back, bring the knee up, snap kick to the groin. 4, trap, step back and break, inward block, knife hand block, come back, snap kick. And 5. Okay, we're going to do it 5 more times. I'll use a dummy. If you have a partner, have them play dummy for you, that's great. Or even better, play dummy for them 5 times and have them play dummy for you 5 times. That way you feel like both ends are alike. And if you want to do even better than that, if you have multiple partners, practice on people of different sizes because it will change up a little bit. Okay. 6, grab, inward block, chop, kick. 7, trap, step back, break, inward block, chop, kick. 3, trap, break, knock the arms off, get back to the throat, kick. 4, trap, step back, break, inward block, chop, and kick. And 5. Alright, so our next technique is called sumo. I'm only going to do this technique 5 times because I just really don't like this technique all that much, honestly. But it was taught to me in orange belt, so I pass it down. So the technique is of someone coming and grabbing you by the waist, which is one of the reasons I don't like it. I've never had anyone grab me by the waist. Seems like a weird attack to me. But if they do that, the technique starts off with an X block to the throat. So they've got you by the waist, and you're just hitting them here. Next, you want to bring those elbows in tight because you got to come down in between these 2 arms, right, that have a hold of you. And then as soon as you're in between them, you bring your hands out, pushing them out to get them away from you. Both hands in the spear hand formation, one on top of the other for support, goes straight to the throat. So the technique so far is X block, bring it in tight. Forgot to tell you to step out right as you push those hands out, and then back to the throat. You step out to the right because they've already got a hold of you. So when you step, it kind of forces them to step. All right. So after the spear hand, you're going to trap that hand. Just think grabbing it from here. Step up, bring the elbow under the chin. Turn away from them into a soft bow. Hammer fist. And bring the heel up to the rope. So we do something a little bit special when we do that technique, because we go from this ridge hand to this elbow. We're turning away from them, kind of like we're about to run away from them with that hammer fist. And we put the hand up above the groin, and we actually smash it between the palm and the heel before we walk away. Okay, or run away, or however you need to get out there. So let's do that one 5 times. 2. I'll do it slowly for you. I'm going to do it at a different angle next. 3. 4. 5. Alright, so we'll stick to 5 so we can get through more techniques. That will allow you to see more. I'm going to go all the way down, just to kind of give myself a little resistance here. So our next technique is called striking out spade. Just like the first technique, saw someone trying to grab you. But this time, instead of pushing you back, they're grabbing you and pulling you towards them. So rather than resist them, you're going to let them yank you in. As they yank you in, again, you trap, you're going to step in right. You're going to use all that power from them yanking you towards them to step in and do a low ridge hand straight to the groin. So you trap the hand, they pull you in, hit down. So as soon as they pull you, they're hit, and you just barely resting on their arms. Now you're going to bring that up and do an inward block motion. But instead of an inward block, you're going to open that hand up and turn that down 90 degrees to get your chop there. You're going to do a chop to the side of the neck, What you're trying to do is hit the carotid artery. Some people believe you hit there hard enough, you can knock a person out. Some people say that's not true, it's not going to happen. What I can tell you is that it does hurt. It does kind of mess with the blood going to your head a little bit, so it sends a little shock wave. I do believe that if you were hit there with enough force, it may knock you out. I don't believe it's a guarantee. I wouldn't count on it being a strike that knocks your opponent unconscious, but I would count on it stunning them for a second, but I would be ready to follow up. I wouldn't recommend thinking that the fight was over at that point. Okay, so let's do that 5 times. 1, trap, step in, block below, knock in. I'll do it this way so you can see it. 2, trap, step in. It's called a ridge hand strike when you hit with that. Basically, we're hitting with the wrist here, the wrist and the thumb. Bring it up and chop. 3, trap, ridge hand to the growing, and chop. 4, grab, ridge hand to the growing, and chop. And 5, ridge hand, knife hand chop. Okay, so striking SB is very close to the same thing, but a little bit different. We're still stepping in right, we're still trapping just the same, but instead of this ridge hand, we want to do what's called a middle knuckle punch. Just do a fist, put this thumb on the second finger of the middle knuckle, and push that middle knuckle out a little bit further. And we're shoving that into their solar plexus, just to get a little bit of a frogging action. It's just straight in there, right? Straight to the solar plexus, looking right for that button to knock the breath out of them. And as soon as they're gasping for air, just like that inward block again, but this time we're coming across with a hammer fist. So hitting with the bottom of the fist. That's what the hammer fist means. It's just hitting like a hammer, or hitting with the bottom of the fist. And we're going all the way across, and then back to the knife hand chop to the throat again. I do recommend knife hand chop. I do kind of like to use the forearm. I think it's great to just shove a little bit of forearm in there, hit across the throat. It's not as refined as just a knife hand, so it's not going to be as focused into a small point, but it's a large, hard object hitting soft tissue. It's going to do enough damage. Okay, so let's do that 5 times. 1, trap, step in, middle knuckle punch, hammer fist, knife hand block. 2, 3, trap, step in, middle knuckle punch. Hammer fist across the jaw and chop back. 4, trap, step in, middle knuckle punch. Hammer fist across the jaw and chop back. And 5, middle knuckle, hammer fist, chop. Okay, so let's move on to the next technique, which is going to be striking SC. This time, we're not going to wait for them to get to us. We see them coming. So we're going to step up and push our hand out before they ever get the chance and go straight for that ridge hand to the groin. As soon as we're there, we're going to end just like we did in sumo, right? So we're going to shuffle in, elbow straight up, hammer fist down, hand above, and bring the heel up to the palm. Okay, so let's do that 5 times. 1, step in, think of like an extended outward block, just with an open hand and ridge hand. Step in, trapping the hand, elbow, hammer fist, palm above, slap. 3, push out, ridge hand. Shuffling with an elbow up, turn away with a hammer fist down, palm open, smash for the foot. 4, push out, ridge hand. Elbow up, hammer fist, palm up, slap. And 5, push out, ridge hand. elbow up, hammer fist, slap with the foot. Okay, so that takes us through striking out C. Our next technique, let's look at some from behind. You're going to be crash the eagle A through D. And on these ones, your attacker is attempting to choke you from behind or grab your shoulders. So this is my dummy. If I come behind him and I want to strangle him, or I come behind him and I grab him on the shoulders, my arms are going to be right here, close to this hand, right? So what we're going to do is start off in a cup and saucer so they can't see. We don't want them to see it first. Just want to start with the footwork. So we step up just into a cat stance, and the focus on that first movement is to not move the shoulders. That's the hard part, because if they feel us, they're going to yank us around or yank us off balance, right? We don't want them to feel that we're moving until it's too late. So once we've got our little step over, right elbow is going to come up straight up and high, and the body turns all at once, hips, everything, pivots that stance 180 degrees away. So here, I step over, I bring that elbow down. If their arm is a little bit longer, you'd see I'd be trapping it underneath my arm, and I'd have a hold of their arm right there. Okay. So after I come around and I trap their arm down, I'm going to shuffle in with that elbow straight underneath the chin and a back fist down on the nose. So after I come over, I come down in between the arms, trapping this one, shuffling, elbow under the chin. Whenever the chin gets hit and the nose goes back fist will come down straight on top of the nose. So let's go ahead and do that technique 5 times. 1. Bring across, elbow up, back fist down. 2. Cup and saucer, step over with the left foot, right elbow comes up high, pivot 180 degrees, shuffle in with an elbow, and back fist. 4. Cup and saucer, left foot steps over into a cat stance, right foot comes up as the whole body pivots over, and the elbow comes down sharply, trapping the hand, shuffle in, elbow under the chin, back fist on top of the nose. 2 more times. 4. And 5. Okay, so B, it's not much different. The only real difference is that you want to be just slightly more violent with it. So for this one, we're going to use the falcon's talon. Instead of doing a back fist to the nose, we'll bring 2 fingers straight down into the eyeballs. Okay? 1. Elbow up, fingers in the eyes. 2. Mess it all, I'm stepping around. 3. Step first. And that way you get a quick pivot before your elbow. If you don't step. 4. You get the slow turn that's easy to guard. So you want to step over first so that you can pivot fast. And 5. Okay, 2 more. Let's do C. C, when you've come around, they're too close. You feel kind of trapped. So you're kind of going to circle the arm and come around instead, right? So you can't come straight up. So you come around and then back. So starting off the same way, cup and saucer, step over left, bring that right hand up high, bring it down, elbow across, and elbow back. 5 times. 1, over, elbow across, elbow back. 2, cross, elbow, and back. 3, cross, elbow through, elbow back. 4, bring that over, bring that elbow across, and bring that elbow back. And 5, bring that elbow up and over, bring that elbow straight across, bring that elbow back to the nose. And 5, elbows up and over, elbow straight across, elbow back to the nose. Okay, the last one is Crash of the Eagle D, and this one they're a little further away. So when you come across, you could reach them if you elbowed up, or if you elbowed over. So you gotta extend the arm all the way out. We'll do a half fist straight to the throat. So from here, we step over, bring the hand round and down, elbow straight to the throat. 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the form we learned today 1 or 2 more times before we end off. So short form. I'll explain it to you once, and then I'll perform it the way I would perform it once, and then we'll go ahead and close out. Short form, block punch form. Step out, open, back. Step back, inward block, reverse punch. Step back into a modified horse stance with an inward block, and a reverse punch. Step up into a modified horse stance, outward block, and a reverse punch. Step back with an outward block, and a reverse punch. Step up, upper block, and a reverse punch. Step back, upper block, reverse punch. Downward block, reverse punch. Step back, downward block, reverse punch. Step up, and close. Okay, so one last time. This is form 2, short form, block punch form. This is the form we came here to learn today. Hopefully this class did that for you. If not, let me know and we'll go over it again. We'll send me some videos of what you can and can't do. We'll work it out from there and help you get through it. So let's go ahead and try to perform this form. Open up. All right, that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Teach every Tuesday and Thursday. I think on class 11, I started going over yellow belt in the Kenpo Chuan Fa system. To help someone out that emailed me on that, saying they needed to go over the beginner material a little bit. I'm hoping this helped. Again, if it didn't, hit me up, let me know. We'll go over it more. Let me know what you're not understanding, or if there's anything I can explain a little better for you. And I'll keep putting out videos and hopefully see you guys soon. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you guys on Thursday for another class. Let's go ahead and close out. Thank you for joining me.